My relationship with Elden Ring is rocky no more. This shot of action and randomness is exactly what this game needed to draw me right back in. A new, roguelite approach that nobody expected brings an entire new dimension of freshness to the rock-solid gameplay systems. While Elden Ring had fun mechanics and bosses, there was also way too much filler, making most of the experience forgettable. While Night Rain still goes hard into asset reuse and repetition, the added random loot and events keep the game dynamic and unpredictable. Fighting a difficult enemy with suboptimal gear and having to make do with your options is juxtaposed by happening to find exactly what you're looking for and proceeding to roll through the game, but both scenarios are thrilling in their own ways. Roguelites are a genre of games that provide replayability more consistently than any other, at least in my opinion. The randomness of your circumstances means you never know what to expect and will have to adapt. This provides satisfying and interesting emergent gameplay and narratives. I can't say I'm a die-hard fan of roguelites, but all the ones I've tried have kept me engaged, at least enough to beat them. Rogue Tower is a niche game I sank many hours into. In fact, I have more hours there than in such games as Terraria, Trackmania Turbo, and even Dusk. And if we wanna consider XCOM 2 a roguelike, then I can safely say a roguelike is my most played single-player game on Steam. I revel in the challenge, and the unpredictability just keeps making me want to start a new run. I am pleased to say Night Rain captures this feeling well. Every run is a new start, new loot, new playstyles, and even if you don't defeat the Night Lord, new cross-run progression. Even if you die miserably, you've still made some progress. The entire game revolves around preparing for the inevitable bosses. In fact, the only way to fail a run properly is to all get downed during an end-of-night boss or the Night Lord itself. In all other cases, you get penalized, but can still bounce back and keep going. It can be tempting to just throw it all away, but as long as you can still live through the boss, you'll be fine. And once you do, you might very well get a powerful reward that will surge your confidence right back up. While Elden Ring and Dark Souls are fun in learning boss patterns and movesets, this game is a lot more about the decisions you make, rather than your mechanical and pattern recognition skills. The predecessors are fun and exciting in their fights and pulling through with skill alone. However, Night Rain gives an entirely different rush, picking the right equipment, the locations to visit, how to use your time, and, when it's make or break, what do you do? The feeling of your team counting on you, and knowing that one decision will either let them down or grant us victory, is a rush I only get from playing team games, rather than single-player focused ones, like the previous FromSoft titles. This feeling I had when barely finishing off the Night Lord in this clip only rivals some clutch plays I made when playing Counter-Strike. I don't really have a problem with the asset reuse, but I really wish some of the minor and end-of-night bosses were new. Fighting Morgoth again, with an updated moveset, is fine, but having to slog through another fucking ancient dragon fight is miserable. What you can count on are the Night Lords being, at the very least, spectacular, though I have some bad things to say about them. Gladius was fine and a weird new challenge, though I feel the way he splits and then each of the duplicates may very well have their aggro on one player ends up feeling kind of unfair. Gaping Jaw has been miserable so far, with its unpredictable AoEs and impossible to see attacks. He keeps doing something, but there's no real way to react, cause you can't see what he's doing, and suddenly half the arena explodes and you're left scratching your head as to what exactly you were supposed to do. I also fought the next one and... what the fuck? I mean, actually, what the fuck is going on here? I must be missing something blindingly obvious. This boss feels inscrutable, but not unfair. It just genuinely feels like I'm not understanding something. If I had to complain about another thing, it would be that the cross-run progression feels kind of simple. You earn Merc to buy relics, which you can equip for some passive buffs. Some of them have some really useful benefits, such as conferring item effects to your teammates, and others let you start with firepots. This is kind of expected with roguelites, but this is the only dimension of progression outside of runs. It's fine, but some more variety would be useful. I feel like one more different mechanic would make this a very good system. Another new layer of nuance in this game comes from the character classes. While there aren't really any restrictions on who can use what equipment, the effectiveness of them will vary greatly. This is partly due to the different stat scaling, but also the characters having special movesets for specific weapon classes, and their 3 unique abilities. Some characters specialize in raw damage, some specialize in tanking, and others provide ranged effects and utility. I haven't properly tried many of them yet, as I want to get a good understanding of the ones I do play before I move on. I thought I was done with this script, but just now I had this really weird game. Overall, as far as the netcode goes, I've had pretty good experiences. As a staunch Dark Souls netcode hater, I haven't had many problems. Avoiding incoming attacks feels fair and responsive, but your own attacks can sometimes lag a bit with when they land. Still, it seems like there's some kind of compensation mechanism, because as the game goes on, this problem gets smaller. I don't know if this says more about past FromSoft netcode, or about the present one, that I'm here praising, a merely acceptable netcode, but here we are. However, I matched with 2 randoms. The game took abnormally long to load us into the expedition, and one of the players appeared to have left. We walked over to an encampment nearby and no enemies were loaded in for me. I could see the other player fighting them, blood was appearing and I was getting runes, but I couldn't see or interact with anything. Then, in a flash, all the entities appeared instantaneously. Furthermore, the exact moment I grabbed the flask charge, the missing player returned. Everything was fine for the rest of the game, until we were fighting the Night Lord and we all died. I had a Wending Grace in my inventory, an item which lets you get up once from defeat, but I was completely unable to use it. I was spamming every button, and I wasn't reviving, and I know how to use it as I've had a previous situation where this worked, but not now. The game wasn't ending, because I still had the Wending Grace. After some fiddling, I couldn't even open the menu to quit out of the game, so I had to Alt F4. So yeah, I'm back to asking FromSoft to fix their fucking netcode again. This game is genuinely more addictive than possibly any other FromSoft title I've played, at least right now. Finally, a Soulsborne experience designed around cooperative play, one that works very well and provides the multiplayer rush I didn't know I was craving for. A short video, I wanted to quickly get out some thoughts I had on this game without compromising some other projects I'm working on. Thanks for watching.